Hello guys, WQWeng here. I want to talk about how to what kind of setup, what kind of gear you can use for high greater rift. And when I say high greater rift, it's 45 plus. And I myself have struggled to gear my monk due to not finding Sunwuko Amulet, a very good Sunwuko. So I had like 27 million toughness, and I couldn't do like higher than greater rift 43 or 44. Then one day I sit on my job and I figure out what kind of item I had and how to combine it to get more toughness and still have the same damage and recovery. So now I'm gonna show you different setup, different gear setup, and slightly change in your skill, and you will be able to do at least greater rift 46. At least I've done that the first try. I changed my gear. Right, here it goes. So if you are like me, doesn't have a good Sunwuko Amulet, then you might have a good Blackthorn Amulet. Then you can use that. Blackthorn Amulet, in my opinion, is actually the best choice, unless you have a good Sunwuko. Right. So what I went for was this setup, and I went from 27 million toughness to 49 million toughness, and I was at 1.9 million recovery, and I went to 2.5 million recovery. I had before 1.3 million DPS. I'm slightly lower than that, 1.27. I am sitting on 661k HP right now. It can be higher if I sacrifice my recovery, because I didn't max out my life percent here. I went for life regen. Since I don't have any like sustain in greater rift, the only way I survive is life regen, life on hit for paragons, and so on. So, and just a lot of toughness to not take a lot of damage. Alright, the gear setup with Blackthorn Amulet will be Blackthorn Amulet, Blackthorn pants, Algio chest. Make sure to try to roll 11% elite damage reduction. It's very good. It's very helpful in greater rift. And also an Algio bracer. Also try to have like secondary, all your armor pieces, including your jewelry, needs to have resistance. And secondary resistance is better than all resist. Because that's secondary resistance is how harmony works. And then you have, of course, you need the 3 pieces of Sunwuko Amulet, so you get the 4 set bonus by using a Ring of Royal Grandeur. And of course, Unity, double Unity ring is important. 1 on yourself, 1 on your Templar. So you get 50% damage reduction. The belt I'm using is also important. This is called String of Ears. This is a very defensive belt. It gives you a lot of melee damage reduction. It has 28. It can roll 30% reduced damage from melee attacks. This one has 28, and then you just go armor or life percent. Try to get one with high vitality, high dexterity, and secondary resistance. And the boots is the crudest boots, and simply because of the the Mystic Ally. So you rotate between Epiphany, which gonna give you Spirit Regeneration, and when you're out of Spirit, you pop your Air Ally, and then you most likely have your Epiphany ready again. So this is the setup I did Greater Rift 46 in first try. I can show it here, right here. First try I did that, and pretty good time also. So it's a huge improvement to before, when I only had like 27 million, where I actually get one-shotted on Greater Rift 44. So this is the way to go if you have a good Blackthorn Amulet. Then what if you don't have a Blackthorn Amulet, don't have a good Sunwuko Amulet? What's the next best thing to use? There's an amulet you should be keeping your eye on. It's called Eye of Elish. Eye of Elish is the opposite of String of Ears. Why I say the opposite? Because this is not the perfect Eye of Elish, of course. Perfect Eye of Elish is where you don't have that 7% elite damage reduction on secondary, where you have resistance, and then you have 30% ranged damage reduction. So you have 30% range damage reduction on your amulet, and then you have 30% melee damage reduction. So you get the best of both worlds. Of course, this one should be like, instead of physical, it should be like lightning. You can find one with lightning, dexterity will do. But most important, you need to have socket. You need to have crit damage, crit chance. So if you don't have any of like Blackthorn Amulet or Sunwuko Amulet, you should use this one. And then if you don't have these either, then you just use whatever amulet that has secondary resistance. Like this one, I could just reroll the 14% life to socket, and it already had crit damage, crit chance. Then you need to go with that. So if you have an Eye of Elish, what the combination will be, because you're not gonna get the Sunwuko pieces if you use that one. But then you could, instead of String of Ear, you could use Blackthorn Belt. You could also stick with String of Ears. Then there's a pants called Hammer Jammer. Hammer Jammer is quite good because you can roll 4 primary stats. So you can get like all the dexterity, vitality, armor, and also maybe movement speed. Then you save up the movement speed on your Paragon point, and then you can go higher dexterity or higher vitality, whatever. If you can afford it, let's see. I think generally over 600k HP is good. So if you can afford it, you do not need to have vitality on your helm. You can go with something like this, where you have weight of light damage on your helm instead, like this. I will not drop a lot of toughness though. But if your HP is like 400 already, then maybe it's risky to do this trick here. Okay, so always like defense comes first, then you optimize your damage. This is simply because if you die, every time you die, it increases the timer. So if you need to wait 10 seconds, that's like 10-second waste of damage. So defense is equal damage actually. So if you can stay alive throughout entire Greater Rift, that is always already a lot of damage increase. Okay, think about your survivability first, then think about how to increase your damage by like here. I can go with a bit lower recovery and still hit 600k HP and go with 15% weight of light instead of vitality on my helm. So that's something you go for. Like on my boots, I have also this is the wrong one, by the way, and this one, weight of light on boots, like this, right? So this is something you should think about. See, even with Eye of Elish, I have 51 million toughness. This is more than enough for Greater Rift 46. Can do even higher than that. Legendary gems. If you don't have a good Sunwuko Amulet, you will go for Goggle of Swiftness gem instead because of the cooldown reduction. Actually, the attack speed on it is very bad for weight of light build. For lightning weight of light, because the more attack speed you have, the more spirit you're gonna burn. But because you lack of cooldown reduction, you want to be able to rotate between Epiphany and your Mystic Ally, and you need that extra cooldown reduction. And this is the gem you're gonna use if you don't have a good Sunwuko. So let me just go back to the normal setup where I have the Black Dawn. Then I will have like 53 million toughness. Alright, so then the other gem, it will be Bane of the Trap and the Tackle gem. So if you don't have Sunwuko Amulet, the strategy to keep your Tackle gem up is going for Mantra of Salvation, and then have a Chain of Resonance, which reduces the spirit cost of the Mantra cast. So the way I keep my Tackle gem up is simply spamming my mantra while I'm moving from pack to pack. While you are spamming your pillar, you have no problem maintaining your Tackle stack. While you killed a pack here, moving on, you need to just refresh every time Tackle stack is about to run out. You're not gonna use a lot of spirit. The spirit you're gonna use you will regain it again fastly. Okay, so this is the gear setup. If you go other amulet than Sunwuko, and the only change is actually that you need Exploding Palm. The Lightning Exploding Palm is very effective in Greater Rift. More effective than the Cold Exploding Palm, the Impending Doom. Many was asking me when I stream, like, why don't you use the cold one? You will use the cold one when the season 2 comes, and you can get yourself a Gondor Bracer, which gonna apply Exploding Palm for you. But for now, the purpose is quickly apply a lot of Exploding Palm, and the Shocking Grabs gonna apply another Exploding Palm on a target like 15 yards near to the target. You apply Exploding Palm on. So it's every time it's 2 target, it's gonna explode, and it's quite good for Greater Rift. Try that out. Try with Impending Doom, and then try Shocking Grasp. You will see the difference. So the rest is Pillar of the Ancient. Blinding Speed is always obviously very good. You want to dodge stuff in high Greater Rift, because anything gonna hurt so much on you. So if you can dodge it, you don't take any damage. But if you go very high armor or resist, which you need also, but like you still take damage. Even if you have very high armor, very high resistance, you still take damage. But when you dodge something, you take 0 damage. So that's why Blinding Speed. Look at my toughness going up when I dash, 88 million, right? When I dash, and recovery too. And also the Mantra of Salvation, Agility, the last rule, is very good. It's 35% dodge chance. Always, you have that as passive. So I have generally walking around, I have 35% chance to dodge everything. And when I dash, then the dodge is gonna jump up. See, where's the dodge? Dodge chance 35% when I dash, jumps to 61. This is due to the diminishing return, so you don't get the full 40% of 40%. Normally you say 40 plus 35, but it's not. There's a diminishing return. That goes with every item in this game. Cooldown reduction. If you have one item equipped with cooldown reduction, you will get the full. And already the second item you equip with cooldown reduction, you get the diminishing return. Don't get the full value of it. So, and that's pretty much all the stats in the game. So, let's then change. So if you do have a good Sunwuko Amulet, I actually did find one yesterday. So, or mine is not that very good because it's still missing the secondary resistance. So this is like, I would say mediocre because a bit low dexterity, and I really want 20% lightning on it instead of this dexterity, and most importantly resistant. And this is like all in DPS here. 100% crit damage and 10% crit chance. Okay, but if you do have this Sunwuko Amulet, then the setup will be different. You use, of course, your Sunwuko Amulet, and then you can go Lyric Crown here. Lyric Crown, I have that one. That is the one I've used on my Hex Wuku build. This is the one. Of course, you need lightning resist, not lightning resistance on it. General secondary resistance. Always remember that all your item, if you don't have second like resistance, it's not considered very good. So generally you need to find a better one. So with that, just get that gem out of there. So you can go like this. Then you have your shoulder, your glove, which both have cooldown reduction, and you have this Sunwuko Amulet. Then you get the 4 set bonus, and then you have the Lyric Crown, right? Then the option is here. You can go like this: Argyle, Chest, and Bracer, and go still with String of Ears. Then you can think about using Hammer Jammers here, or if you don't have a String of Ear, you just simply go 2 pieces of Blackthorn. That's also doable. Or you go like String of Ear and Hammer Jammer. Another thing I want to point out is if you do go for Lyric Crown, you get that 12.5% more cooldown reduction. So we simply don't need that extra cooldown reduction from Gogo Gem. So instead of that, you can actually go for more damage, like Bane of the Powerful. So actually, when I use my Sunwuko Amulet, I would just change Gogo Gem out with Bane of Powerful, and this way I will also not burn up my spirit that fast because I don't have that 15% more damage, more attack speed from Gogo Gem. And this Bane of the Powerful is, if you get it over rank 25, you will get increased damage against elite by 15%. And every time you kill a elite pack, you will get another 20% damage increase for X seconds. It's a very good damage increase. And of course, Bane of the Trap and the Tago Gem. Okay, so the only difference when you use Skogorg is if you don't have a good Sunwuko Amulet, then you use Skogorg instead of Bane of the Powerful. If you do have a good Sunwuko Amulet, use Bane of the Powerful instead of Skogorg. So the setup will be like that. Sadly, I don't have my Hammer Jammers, a good Hammer Jammer, but I would use that if I had a good Hammer Jammer. Or you can just use any pants. Generally, it's actually quite good to go 2 pieces of Blackthorn. Then you get that 250 more vitality and reduce damage, another 10% reduce damage from elite, and increase damage against elite 10% also. So that's very, very good, because all that increased damage against elite, you're gonna benefit from it when you have applied all this exploding palm to the trash mob surrounding the pack, the actual pack, and all those trash mob explode. Your elite damage reduction will kick in and actually help you to kill the elite pack. So those 15% from this Bane of the Powerful and the 10% here will kick in and help you. And also from your 15% from your Unity, all that gonna kick in. Okay, so with a Sunwuko Amulet, you can go this setup, or there's many people are going the Sweeping Wind with Ina set. That's also an option, and that will be like this. And then we're gonna change our skills a bit. So let me equip the Ina for 3 pieces here. You go like this, and you still go Lyric Crown. Or some people actually, some people doing this, right? And I actually not a fan of this build here. If it was me, I would just completely like skip this, and I will go for shoulder here. Augure shoulder to get that extra toughness. You really need that when you get that up to that high greater rift, and simply just equip some Sunwuko helm. So I will actually go there. The point of getting using Augure shoulder is Sunwuko shoulder always come with all resist, and I talked about before, secondary resistance is better when you use harmony, and everyone is using harmony. So Augure shoulder it's a good option. So like this, I will actually recommend you to go if you have a good Sunwuko Amulet. And the slightly gear, the skill change will of course be that instead of mantra, you will have to go with Sweeping Wind in a storm. Many go like this, Sweeping in a storm, and you don't need Chain of Resonance anymore. And instead of that, you can just go for Unity. Unity, why? Increase damage since you have the Ina forces, so you get all 4 mantras. So you get that 20% extra damage from. So the setup will actually be like this, where if you look at my previous video where I explain how to autocast Sweeping Wind and how to force move and not lose Sweeping Wind autocast in Greater Rift. Go look at my previous video if you don't know how to autocast Sweeping Wind, so you don't need to click it yourself all the time. So you just concentrate about putting Exploding Palm, get your weight of light down, and keep your spirit up all the time. So this is another setup. This is obviously the damage is much higher than with my setup without the Sunwuko Amulet. And don't care about the toughness is that this low here. It's actually quite good. Hex, my good friend, my clanmate, his rank 1 right now 48. He only have 24 million toughness, and he has 2.3 million recovery. So it's close to this. So you will survive with this also. So now I talked about different variation you can go for. So feel free to try it out or come into my channel and ask if you have some interesting item and that's I didn't mention right now, and you think will be good for Greater Rift. let me know, and maybe we can find a good solution so you will be able to do at least greater rift 46. Because I did it without having my Sunwuko Amulet that I found yesterday. So if you have any question, drop by my Twitch channel, WQWeng. Remember, roll that 11% elite damage reduction on your test. I have it on every chest, every like Outguild check, Black Dawn chest, Thunder chest, whatever chest I have 11% elite damage reduction. It's very important if you want to do greater rift. Also, on your bracer, you need that like 7% melee damage reduction on secondary. All that reduction is converted into your toughness. It's matters a lot regarding life or death. Okay? Maybe you can just live that 2 seconds longer, take another hit, then your potion will be ready again. So every stats counts in Greater Rift. So generally I say if you have 3 items without secondary resistance, then you are badly geared monk. You need to farm more, you need to get those secondary resistance. So none of my gear has every gear I have has secondary resistance. Okay? Unless the one you can get secondary resistance, then there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? Alright. Thanks for watching. I hope this is gonna help some people get higher on the leaderboard when they're doing Greater Rift. And make sure to check out the how to cast and force move. Okay? See you. Bye bye.